Hello everyone. I'm going to give it a few minutes tonight like we usually do to get a few more people on, and tonight we're going to be talking about pets, hence the pause on the screen here. We're trying out some new hi Victoria, hope you had a good holidays. Trying out some new creator things through Facebook, so hopefully the video will be a little bit more animated and related to what we're doing. So as I say, we're going to talk about pets tonight. We're just going to give a few more minutes for people to get signed on. I don't know how everyone else is tolerating the cold, but I haven't been out much because of it, because of that and surgery, of course. So anyway, it's kind of nice to get back to this. I've missed doing it. So I hope everyone had wonderful holidays and stayed safe. We went on a drive on New Year's Eve and saw someone well off the road, so clearly the roads weren't great that night. But like I say, hopefully everybody's staying safe. I've been glad the kids haven't had to go to school, which has helped with safety on these icy roads, and it will get warm eventually, right? So we'd love to have people share comments. Hi, Christy. And pop in, share our video, that kind of thing. So like I said, just giving it a few more minutes for a few more people to hop on here. And of course, people can always watch it replayed later. Hi, Candy. So I put a frame on, Candy. I hope someone can see it. It's kind of weird. It's a little darker tonight, but so hopefully everyone is ready to get back to normal activities after, I'm hoping you had a holiday break anyway. It was nice to have some time at home, even though it was recuperating. We had lots of company in and also had a big party at the house for Christmas Eve, so stayed pretty busy. Just going to give it another minute or so here, and then we'll start talking about pets and what we can do for pets. Great, I'm glad you can see the pet paws. So anyway, I was hoping these filters would work. Well, we're about 3 minutes in. That's usually when I start, at least with our kind of housekeeping things. So our first thing is that we're not claiming to cure or specifically treat any diseases. We simply talk about what we know our product does at a cellular level. We would love for you to share our live video, and if you do, you will be entered to win a drawing for free product. And the drawing is generally Wednesday live, so you'll get that information as well. We'd love to have you follow our page, Health, Freedom, and Lifestyle, regularly so we can keep you updated. And please get us an email so we can get you any pertinent information. If you don't see live or a red dot, it means you are replay. And if you could leave us a comment, #replay. And any other comments or questions, we'd love to have those. Happy to answer questions as we go along. I'm hoping this will become more and more interactive because you all don't need to listen to me talk forever. But so anyway, I believe that covers my housekeeping for now. But again, we would love your comments. We'd love to know who's here. And even if you're watching it on replay, if you can comment then as well with that #replay, it's most appreciated. Hi, Nora. So tonight, like I say, we're going to talk about pets and what ASEA can do for pets. And again, we're not claiming to treat or cure anything specific, but I'm going to cover again those things that even the bottle states that research has shown of what this can do for the body at the cellular level, and remind you what that can do for pets. Clearly, their physiology is similar to ours, and that is why this works so effectively in pets. And we do have a huge number of testimonials that can be shared. If you have interest in those, please just let us know. We do also have someone on the team, Annette Seaver, who has a very firsthand a testimonial for the saving of her cat. And we would love to get you on a call to have that shared as well if you have further questions. So I did a little bit of research today and just looked up some of the most common things, and I'm really just going to talk about dogs and cats tonight, but certainly it applies to many other animals. There's testimonials for cows, horses, and any number of other animal species. So again, I'm just talking about dogs and cats tonight because clearly they're the most common and most often what people have at home and get concerned about. So I'm going to hit those things that we know ASEA helps first, and then we'll talk a little bit more pet specific and disease specific. But again, we know that it improves the immune system at the cellular level, and clearly if it's working at the cellular level, then it's functioning through the whole body, through all processes. So that's why that's important. Immune therapy is important for allergies as well as fighting disease. Now, it also, we know, has an anti-inflammatory effect. And again, that almost every disease process has inflammation involved to some extent. And again, we know our product is anti-inflammatory. We know that it improves cardiovascular health, or heart and blood vessel health, and we know that it not only helps with cholesterol, but it also helps to keep the arteries elastic. That was something that was added more recently. So we know that that, quote, hardening of the arteries, this should be helping with that as well. We know that it helps with gut health, the gut to function, the gut to heal, to regulate all of those things. And we also know that it helps the hormones to balance. I want to talk a little bit more about hormone balance. I guess I'll do that first, because sometimes when people talk about hormones, they think just, oh, estrogen, testosterone, that kind of thing. But for anybody who's studied physiology at any time, you know that the hormones in the body are so much more than that. I certainly won't talk about all of them, but I wanted to remind people of some of the key functions of hormones. The pituitary gland is one of the biggest ones that produces hormones, and yes, it produces it not only in humans but also in animals. And that affects the thyroid, the parathyroid, the adrenal glands, and the ovaries, testicles, as well as the pancreas. Now, the adrenal glands most importantly affect the production of ACTH, or increasing the natural corticosteroids. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever taken steroids, but I can tell you that my osteoarthritis, while much improved on the ASEA, was even more improved with some recent ingestion of corticosteroids, which I was given post-surgery in order to improve inflammation. And I will tell you, it made a huge difference in, hi Julie, huge difference in my inflammation as far as the arthritis, and I could definitely tell when those effects wore off. So important, those natural corticosteroids, that those levels really help to diminish the inflammatory effects. So let's talk a little bit about dogs. Again, I want to say that we're not claiming to treat or cure anything specific, but I do want to talk about some of the specific things that dogs have that I certainly think would be of benefit. So, hot spots, a very common problem. That's one of those areas where they just lick and lick and lick and lick, and there's no apparent reason why. There's not necessarily a wound, anything like that. Well, I have a high anxiety dog, and at one time she did have a hot spot, had to put her in a cone. So she would leave it alone. It did eventually go away. But certainly Renew, applied topically to that hot spot several times a day especially, would be making a huge difference in how the dog is affected. And of course, again, non-toxic, native to the system, so it's not going to harm them if they lick it off. Clearly, if you can get it to be on there for 5-10 minutes to at least get absorbed, then that's going to make a huge difference. Hi, Brandy. To me, hot spots are just kind of a natural thing to try this on, as well as any other skin disorders. One of the doctors who's in the business with us has an animal has lupus and has some skin changes from the lupus. So I strongly encourage him to try it on his animal. His wife happens to be a vet, so certainly that's going to really be something beneficial for her practice once they begin to see how well it treats animal diseases as well. So I should say affects, not treats. It will significantly improve anything like that. Another common ailment for dogs is vomiting. That can come from food allergies, just some stomach sensitivities, anxiety, anything like that. So again, the vomiting we know is going to be improved by decreasing an inflammatory response. And like a gastritis is inflammatory. Anything that ends in itis is inflammatory. So clearly, if we're taking care of inflammation, we're helping those things. So allergies are another thing for, I'm sorry, I think I missed the gut health for the vomiting. So clearly, if we know it's improving gut health, it's also going to help the vomiting. Now, for dogs still, allergies, very, very common. Again, can be food related, that kind of thing, and will certainly improve at the cellular level with ASEA. Now, of course, we're giving animals smaller amounts. A very tiny dog, maybe a half an ounce a couple times a day, or maybe just once a day to see how they respond, and then increase it to a couple times a day. A bigger dog, maybe as much as an ounce a couple times a day, but certainly start slow. Again, you're not going to do any harm, but sometimes if they have a lot of toxins going on in the system, it can make the bowels move a bit faster initially. Now, certainly not everybody sees that, but you do see that on occasion, and that goes away. We encourage people just to drop back on the amount and then build that up as they tolerate it. So again, that's very uncommon, but it does happen. So when you're talking about allergies, one of the things that they do to improve allergies is to improve the immune system. That's what they're doing when they give allergy shots. So that is yet another way that ASEA is going to positively affect a disease process. So that's really what I wanted to talk to about dogs, unless somebody had something specific. But again, hot spots, vomiting, allergies, and anything that immune therapy would help. So now for cats, they tend to have a different series of issues. I guess one of the primary ones that they often have is an upper respiratory infection. Can be viral, can be bacterial, that kind of thing. Almost all these things start viral and then become bacterial, but again, by giving a cat ASEA on a regular basis, we know that they would be improving their immune response. They would be having an anti-inflammatory effect, and hopefully be more disease resistant, which would certainly be a bonus, because when those cats are sick, it's not pleasant. One of the other things cats tend to get is called gingivitis, or an inflammation of the gums. Now, very common for animals and humans, but again, that itis, inflammatory process, again, we know that an anti-inflammatory is going to be an improvement. Certainly ASEA versus any other kind of anti-inflammatory is going to be much easier on the stomach. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatories that we all like because they make us feel better, like Motrin, Advil, that kind of thing, those are all very irritating to the stomach, unless taken on a full stomach, and of course it's harder to do that with animals. So much better to go with something native to the body and non-toxic, such as ASEA. So one of the other common things for both dogs and cats, of course, is worms, a variety of worms. This is not going to in any way cure or treat that. As with any of these things going on, they need to be vet evaluated to see what's going on. But the ASEA is certainly something that can help improve the disease process that's going on. So worms, again, if we're improving immune response and we're improving gut health, then clearly it's going to be beneficial in that situation as well. Now, for cats, also very commonly urinary tract disease, which is one of the areas of concerns of the cat of Annette Seaver that I was mentioning earlier. Like I say, if someone has a question about a specific testimony, we can get her on a three-way call, and she can share with you that very personal story she has with her pet and how the recovery process by use of ASEA. So, urinary tract disease includes infections of the bladder. Kidney stones are another big one, especially for cats. Clearly, it's not going to make the stones go away, but by helping the inflammation around the stones, it can again help with that. So, although I do believe there's some testimonials that say it really has helped resolve the stones as well. So, another big bonus for treatment. So again, guys, if you can leave a comment when you are on live, that's awesome. If you share the video, or we'll put you in a drawing for free product. If you're watching it on replay, if you can leave us a hashtag replay in a comment, that would be great, so we know you're here. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Love questions and answers. So the other thing with cats is renal failure. Renal failure is almost always at least partially related to those, well, let's just say the tissue's not functioning appropriately. And of course, there's inflammation involved with that as well. So if we're using the immune booster and the anti-inflammatory effects of ASEA, then we know that that's going to help that as well. Now, for both animals, I don't have specific disease processes related to hormone balance, but as I mentioned earlier, hormones aren't just about estrogen and testosterone, but about everything functioning in the body. Almost everything is hormone related. A hormone pushes it to work, another hormone pushes it, has a feedback effect. So, like I said, on those animals, we know that a pituitary gland produces thyroid, parathyroid, adrenal hormones, ovaries, testicles, and pancreas. Now the pancreas, I forgot to mention that earlier, but of course the pancreas is the primary producer of insulin. So insulin affects blood sugars. Clearly, if we are improving hormone balance, we're improving insulin levels and improving sugar levels. So this is likely to be beneficial at the cellular level to drive anti-inflammatory immune response and hormone balance for many, many, many different health conditions for pets. So, planned on this being a bit more brief tonight. I wasn't sure if we had any specific comments, but again, we have plenty of testimonials to share with you. If you can pop us an email, we're happy to do that. Or as I say, specifically, if someone was interested in a three-way for a specific pet testimonial, we're able to do that as well. So again, every week we're here. I apologize for having missed the last couple, having had a significant procedure, but I'm doing just fine and missed you all. So if you have any questions, pop them off at any time. We'll get those answered for you. Share live video for free product. Leave us a comment and email, most appreciated. And if you're on replay, that hashtag replay. I think that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us. If you have something specific you would like us to talk about, please comment on that. If there's something that you don't like about what we're doing, please do that. If you like things, we'd love to hear that too. So again, comments are very welcomed, and we'd love to have emails so we can update you on important things. Certainly wouldn't be bugging you, but if something specific comes up. So again, if you're watching live, share as a means of getting product, and as far as a free drawing. And again, those live drawings occur on Wednesday. So if there's nothing further tonight, that's it. But remember to keep those pets healthy and safe. Either get them drinking or using it topically, or both would be most effective. And we know that it's native and non-toxic, so remember those things. Again, you must have them evaluated by the vet so you know what's going on, but these things can certainly help with treatment. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night.